Okay, this is video number 3 for integrated 1 for exponential growth worksheet. Make sure that you're following along and completing these problems as we go through the video, and then do the you try questions at the end as well. All right, let's take a look at this. So we're now talking about compounded once per year. All right, once per year is annual. So if we have an annual rate, and we are talking about in terms of years, they're the same things. We don't have to make any adjustments at all to changing the multiplier or the time frame. This one is the most straightforward. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what's been given to us. All right, he invests $350. Okay, an investment, that's telling us A. So that's how much we're going to start with. So A is $350. Now we got to work on the multiplier. An account that earns 4.7% annual, okay, yearly interest compounded once a year. All right, we're not going to do anything to this. So we're going to take the 4.7% and we're going to increase it because he's making money. We're going to add it to 100%. That's going to give us 104.7%. Then we're going to change it into a decimal. So we're going to drop the percent. You have to move the decimal point accordingly. That is going to be B. That's our multiplier. I think we're ready to actually write the equation now. Equals 350 times, put your multiplier inside to the x power. Remember, don't plug anything in until you actually get to the rest of the question. Okay, we wrote the exponential model. How much money will be in Troy's account after 9 years? All right, so take a look at this. This is still in terms of years. That's important. So all of this is in terms of years, which means for x, I'm going to plug in 9. So again, I don't have to change the time frame here. It's kind of nice. So y is equal to 350, 1.047 to the 9th power. And then if we type that in, that's going to give us 529.1614276. Okay, I wrote them all out because I want to take a look at the stuff that we actually keep. Since this is money and there is no way the bank is going to give you more than they have to, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 16 cents and then we're going to chop everything off after that because they're not going to round up for you. That's not going to happen. Then put a dollar sign in front of this thing. That's how much money is going to be in the account, compounded once per year after 9 total years. Okay, moving on. Now we're talking about investing the money in a different fashion. So we are now still going to have an investment of $350. So A is going to be $350. That hasn't changed. Continuing on with the question, we still have 4.7% annual interest, so that's a yearly interest rate, but it's being compounded quarterly. So we have to take this 4.7% that goes for the entire year and split it into 4 even chunks, one for each quarter. So the first thing we're going to do is take that 4.7% and divide it by 4. Just kind of split it evenly into each quarter. So if we do that, type this into our calculator, we're going to get 1.175. It's still a percent. That hasn't changed. Now this is going to get added to 100%. Now we're back to where we were before. So 100% plus 1.175%. That's going to give us 101.175%. And then move the decimal point so we can drop the percent. All right, that's B. All right, we should be able to write the equation now. So we get y equals the investment, which was 350. Our multiplier is 1.01175 to the x power. Now, you got to be really careful here. Because we're still talking about 9 years, we have to turn this into quarters. So we're going to do 9 times, well, there are 4 quarters per year. So we're going to multiply those, and that's going to give us 36 quarters. That is what gets plugged in for x. So up here, we're going to plug in x equals 36. Just making sure that everything matches. So the inside of the parentheses where the B is a quarterly rate, which means the exponent needs to be in terms of quarters as well. All right, so if we type that in, we're going to get 532. We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're just going to write the first 2 decimal points and then dump everything else. There's nowhere they're going to round for us. If you compare this to the previous answer, the more often you compound, the more money you should have. So 529, 532. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And this is going to be the last one for this video. If we take a look at this, we still have an investment of $350. So A is going to be equal to 350. Now, we still have that 4.7% annual rate, but it's being compounded monthly. So this 4.7% needs to be split evenly to every single month. So we're going to divide it by 12 since there's 12 months in a year. And this is 0.3916. Whole bunch of sixes after this. So I think I'm just going to chop it off there. Still a percent. That hasn't changed. All right, it's an increase. Let's do 100% plus 0.3916%. It's going to give me 100. 0.3916%. All right, let's move our decimal point to the left and then drop the percent. That is B. That's our multiplier. Okay, back to the question. Still in the account for 9 years, but we're still doing months. So we know there are 12 months in a year. So we're going to multiply those out, and then 9 times 12 is going to give us 108. That's what we're going to plug in for X. So get to our equation here. So we got Y equals 0th term, our multiplier to the X power. Now plug in the 108 for X. And we type this in the calculator and we see what we get. And we get 533.80. Dump off the rest of the numbers. Now this should be higher than the quarterly rate. It is. All right, see if you can do the you try questions now.